cares about people, and you won't have to be around her for very long to feel and experience that on the other side of her. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to have you as a friend.
Hi, everybody. Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Daria, and today I'm here to talk to you all about zines. What are they, why are they fun to make, and how are they good community connectors? So when people typically see this word, they want to pronounce it as Zines, but I think a very fun way to remember the pronunciation zine is to think of them as mini magazines or little magazines. So the word magazine is actually derived from an Arabic word meaning storage house or depot. And when you think of a magazine, you typically think of a collection, a documentation, or a storage house of thoughts, ideas, people, words, illustrations, and that can be in the form of articles, essays, photography, illustrations, poetry, short story, horoscopes, what have you. And zines can incorporate like all of these different things. Zines are not that much different, but they are different in a major way, which is typically that they don't have a lot of corporate backing, or their production value is a lot cheaper, or they're not staffed the same, or they typically don't even have a staff. And so zines are basically little self-DIY, like experimental booklets that you can often make inside of your home or in an office. It's usually like one person making them. And because of that, they have a very low production cost that basically evaporates the need for like a barrier to get into publishing and talk about the things that you're passionate about, what interests you, what excites you. Yeah, anybody can make a zine, and they can be about anything. Short story, nonfiction, fiction, they could be listicles, like literally anything that interests you can go into a zine. So I personally like zines because of this reason, but also because they've helped me really analyze and dig deeper into my perception of the world. But I also really like zines because of the collage aspect and taking ideas that are seemingly like random and unrelated and connecting them on paper in a container. So I'm a writer, and I'm also like very new to the poetry world. So as a poet, I've been asking myself a lot of questions lately, and basically I've been asking myself like, what excites me? What am I looking forward to this week? And what has been stopping me in my tracks that makes me feel like more deeply connected to the world around me? And I'm gonna get to those questions in a bit, but by a show of hands, where are you? Oh, sorry. My fingers. Okay, how many of us have ever heard of commonplace journaling? Commonplace journaling? Okay, cool. So I am actually very new to the term, and I'm gonna try to explain it a little bit. I could be completely wrong, but I'll tell you my interpretation. So I bring up journaling because I use them a lot in my zines. I like to do very personal and vulnerable work and like include my journal entries into my zines. And from what I understand, commonplace journaling is a lot more like the journaling that I used to do in my childhood, whereas now as an adult, I do a lot of like stream of conscious writing, thought dumping, and trying to understand like mental health and stuff. But commonplace journaling, from what I understand, is more like the collage type and understanding. There you go, thank you. Taking a collection of like what interests you, what you're passionate about. Like when I was a child, I used to keep receipts and like Harry Potter like screenshots and like song lyrics and things like that. So if I were to reference the questions that I had earlier about what excites me and what's been interesting to me, just a little sample is like, you know, do dragonflies experience any pain while they're laying eggs? Around what time of day does it typically start raining unexpectedly in Savannah, August, and September's? And what do experts say are the best hors d'oeuvres to serve at a housewarming party? And I could like put all of these in a notepad, keep them in a journal to myself, or I could write a haiku about dragonflies. I could, you know, research the recipes on the internet and put them all into a zine about what it's like to move out on your own for the first time and breathe life into an apartment that doesn't really get a lot of natural sunlight, which is literally what I'm experiencing. So I got to this like idea, seemingly unrelated ideas, by using awe and curiosity. But I think this is where the fun part comes in, because zines are community builders. Because they're so low to produce. They're also very cheap to distribute. You can put them in free libraries, you can put them on community boards, you can put them like in coffee shop windowsills. And I know we're here all networking and exchanging ideas, but how do we reach the people that aren't in this room right now? How do we tap into new audiences and beat the social media algorithm? I think you literally just let people find you. And the more that zines become more commonplace in Savannah, there'll be like really cool like collector's items to trade with your peers, your neighbors, your colleagues. And so basically that's what I've been working on. That's a project, bringing more zines to Savannah. And here are some zines that I've made, and I do workshops around town, private workshops, business workshops, corporation workshops. But yeah, that's basically what I do, trying to introduce the individual to the community and the community to the individual. Thank you.
Thank you, Daria. Fantastic.